drives, where truth dances boldly and fiction takes flight. Every corner a saga, every line a new view. Sanglikar's Weekly, it's all here for you.
Like, Trump threatened BRICS countries with extra tariffs. Convener Lula reacted. U.S. President Donald Trump issued a warning for BRICS member countries, saying that any nation that aligns itself with anti-American policies of the bloc will face an additional tariff of 10%.
US President Donald Trump has issued a stern warning to countries aligning with BRICS policies deemed anti-American. He announced a 10% additional tariff on nations backing the recent BRICS stance, especially after the bloc condemned US-Israel airstrikes on Iran. At the BRICS 2025 summit in Brazil, the 10-member bloc, including India, China, Russia and others, criticized the US-Israel strikes on Iranian nuclear and military sites, calling them illegal. The joint declaration also denounced the double standards on terrorism, especially regarding attacks in the global south, such as the Pahalgam incident in Jammu and Kashmir. The members demanded a united fight against cross-border terrorism, financing and safe havens.
Donald Trump had a plan, E-I-E-I-O. He planned to make the country great, E-I-E-I-O. With tariffs here, deportation there, stock market in despair. Donald Trump had a plan, E-I-E-I-O.
First reaction from China. China has slammed Donald Trump's 10% extra tariff threat. China has said BRICS is not targeting any country. China has said BRICS promotes openness and is not anti-America. Because Donald Trump had said that these 6 nations of BRICS, they want to downplay the dollar and this is anti-America. China's minister has said BRICS promotes inclusivity, it promotes openness and are not anti-USA.
Like, Trump declared tariff rates of several countries. Canada is opposing 35% tariff. Faced with 50% tariff, Brazil's Pres Lula retorted by saying Brazil won't accept tutelage and can survive without USA. It's India's turn next. Like, trade deals are not made, they are doled out by Emperor Trump. U.S. President Donald Trump announced fresh tariff rates on goods from 14 countries. He also extended the deadline for tariffs to come into effect on August 1st from the previous July 9th. While some, like the UK and China, have already reached agreements, others face steep tariffs unless deals are made. Trump confirmed that letters had been sent to several nations, warning them that if new trade agreements are not reached by August 1st, increased import duties will be implemented. The first letters were addressed to Japan and South Korea. Soon after, similar notices were sent to 12 other countries including South Africa, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Laos, Myanmar, Bosnia, Serbia, Kazakhstan, and Tunisia.
Members of the BRICS alliance have criticized U.S. tariffs, saying they threaten global trade. The BRICS nations comprise just over half the world's population and 40% of global economic output. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to add 10% tariffs on any country supporting what he called the BRICS anti-American policies.
सारे जहां को डरा कर धमका कर मनचाहा सब पर टैरिफ लगा कर दुनिया को किया उदास। खुद का भी मार्केट खल्लास। चलती हुई गाड़ी का बोनेट उठाकर, टेस्ला की मार्केट का भूकू बजाकर, मांग का भी किया नाश। $10 ट्रिलियन खल्लास। अच्छा हुआ तुमने हमको उठाया, हमने भी सोई शक्ति को जगाया। अब हम नए रास्ते ढूंढ लेंगे, विकसित भारत का अब टाइम आया। 2047 तक जाकर भारत को नंबर 1 कंट्री बनाकर ही हम लेंगे सांस। रचना है फिर इतिहास, रचना है फिर इतिहास, रचना है फिर इतिहास।
You are watching Sanglikar's Weekly.
BRICS leaders condemn Pahalgam attack, reject double standards in countering terror. BRICS slam coercive tariffs, back India's push on terror and UNSC reforms.
Leaders and top officials from 19 countries have assembled for the high-stakes summit. During the BRICS session on peace and security, the Prime Minister of India declared terrorism the greatest threat. He referred to the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack as a cowardly strike on India's soul and a crime against all humanity. The Prime Minister urged that condemnation of terrorism must be a principle, not a matter of convenience. He again warned against double standards, stating that victims and supporters of terror cannot be treated equally. The Indian Prime Minister also addressed the plenary session of the summit. In his speech, the Prime Minister urged reforms in global multilateral institutions. In his speech,
Like Javed Larijani, an advisor to Iran's Supreme Leader Khomeini, created furor by claiming that a drone may kill Trump at his Mar-a-Lago estate. A serious threat.
Earlier, Iran was planning to make nuclear bombs. Israel opposed this and attacked Iran. America then stepped in and ensured a ceasefire, also stopped Iran from continuing its nuclear bomb program. What happened next was shocking. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is very close to Mohammad Javad Larijani. They made a public statement saying they would soon kill the US President Donald Trump, right in the stomach. They even mentioned the exact place in Florida, a property owned by Trump, known as Mar-a-Lago. They said Trump might be sunbathing there, and that's when the perfect moment to kill him right in the stomach. Wait and watch. This shocking threat went viral. Reporters quickly asked Trump for his reaction. Trump scoffed and said, "Maybe when I was 7-year-old, I sunbathed, but I haven't done that in many years." He's just sharing. However, this wasn't the first time that Iran had made such threats. They have often threatened to kill Trump. Now Trump is responding with a strong warning. He knows that many secret agents are working inside the US hired to kill him. He's fully aware and has the power. In February 2025, Iran again said that if Trump is killed, they will celebrate with joy. Trump has already warned his senior team that if anything happens to him, the US will obliterate Iran.
Tonight, on the heels of President Trump signing his massive domestic policy bill into law, his former close ally, Elon Musk, announcing the formation of a new political party, Musk, the world's richest person, taking to his social media site X to say, "We live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom." Musk, who is President Trump's top campaign donor, has been feuding with the president over the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says will add more than $3 trillion to the national debt over the next 10 years. Musk has referred to the legislation as a debt slavery bill and had been teasing a new political party for days.
Elon Musk Ventures Mars Colonization Program. Elon Musk's long-standing dream of colonizing Mars is inching closer to reality. SpaceX is targeting 2026 for its first uncrewed Starship missions to the Red Planet. Elon Musk Ventures Neuralink's brain chip. Musk's Neuralink aims to fuse the human brain with technology. The company's first patient, Nolan Arbaugh, has publicly shared how the implanted chip helps him communicate after paralysis. Neuralink's goal is to treat neurological disorders and eventually enhance brain function. Elon Musk Ventures Falcon 9, the reusable rocket. The Falcon 9 rocket completely changed the scope of the aerospace industry with its reusable design. Developed by SpaceX, it's the world's first orbital-class rocket capable of returning its first stage to Earth for reuse, either on drone ships at sea or on land-based pads. Elon Musk Ventures Tesla has changed the arena of electric cars from niche experiments into mainstream vehicles. The company's sleek lineup, including the Model 3, S, X, and Y, has not only boosted electric adoption but challenged traditional automakers to go green. Elon Musk Ventures Starship is SpaceX's biggest rocket yet, and it's built to go far. Designed for deep space travel, it's meant to carry people and cargo to Earth's orbit, the Moon, Mars, and even beyond. America Party? Elon Musk's new political front. Is a third party viable in U.S.? By law, a new party doesn't have to register with the Federal Election Commission unless it starts raising or spending money on federal elections. So far, no such records exist for the America Party. In the past, billionaire Ross Perot's 1992 presidential run was an attempt to a new party. He got nearly 19% of the popular vote but didn't win any electoral college votes. Musk was one of Trump's largest financial backers during the 2024 presidential race, spending an estimated $277 million to support his campaign.
Will Musk succeed?
Sanglikars Weekly.
Netanyahu nominates Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. Trump has received multiple Nobel Peace Prize nominations from supporters and loyal lawmakers over the years and has made no secret of his irritation at missing out on the prestigious award.
He's forging peace as we speak, in one country, in one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well deserved, and you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Wow. Thank you very much.
Space burial goes wrong. A space capsule named NYX, carrying the ashes of 166 people plus cannabis seeds and plant matter, crashed into the Pacific Ocean during re-entry. The German startup behind it, the exploration company, TC, apologized to families who lost their loved ones' remains in the incident.
In a heartbreaking turn of events, the NYX capsule, which was launched into space on June 23rd, carrying the remains of over 160 individuals, has crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The mission, orchestrated by the exploration company TC and Celestis, aimed to provide a unique memorial service by sending the ashes of loved ones into orbit. While the capsule successfully completed 2 orbits around Earth, an anomaly occurred during its re-entry that led to the loss of communication just moments before it was set to splash down. In a statement released by TC, they described the mission as both a partial success and a partial failure. The capsule had stabilized itself successfully in space, but the subsequent failure to deploy its parachute resulted in a catastrophic impact with the ocean. The company expressed its deepest apologies to the families who entrusted them with their loved ones' remains.
India has refuted X's claims that it ordered the blocking of international news channels like Reuters and Reuters World. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology clarified that it promptly requested X to unblock the accounts when they were initially restricted.
X account of Reuters has been withheld in India, citing a legal demand, though the reason remains unclear as of now. Look at the visuals on your screen. The Reuters World X account is now inaccessible in the country. Now, other affiliated handles also remain active, but the Reuters World is inactive.
Sanglikar's Weekly.
You are watching Sanglikar's Weekly.
Like Baloch Liberation Army killed 30 in Pakistan. Pakistan is getting a taste of its own medicine. Baloch separatists escalate violence with Operation Bomb, targeting the Pakistani army. Recent attacks have resulted in 18 soldiers dead and 9 Punjabi passengers executed. Over 50 assaults and 27 fatalities reported in Balochistan in just 24 hours, signaling a surge in organized resistance. Pakistan's meaningless statements on Pahalgam. Ridiculous statements from Pakistan. Pahalgam attack unfortunate, but India's response is unprovoked aggression. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, former foreign minister of Pakistan, expressed willingness to extradite individuals like Hafiz Saeed to India as a goodwill gesture, contingent on cooperation from New Delhi. He emphasized the importance of comprehensive dialogue, mentioning the need for Indian witnesses in Pakistani courts for effective prosecution.
पाकिस्तान के पूर्व विदेश मंत्री बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी ने कहा है कि अगर भारत सहयोग करे तो पाकिस्तान हाफिज सईद और मसूद अजहर जैसे आतंकियों को भारत को सौंपने के लिए तैयार है। उन्होंने इसे भारत के साथ विश्वास बहाली की पहल बताया। ये बयान उन्होंने अल जजीरा को दिए एक इंटरव्यू में दिया। बिलावल ने कहा कि अगर भारत सबूत और गवाह पेश करने में मदद करे तो पाकिस्तान को किसी भी चिंताजनक व्यक्ति को सौंपने में आपत्ति नहीं होगी।
Lashkar-e-Taiba, Pakistan's state-sponsored terror outfit, has strongly opposed Pakistani politician Bilawal Bhutto's statement regarding the possible extradition of Hafiz Saeed to India.
हालांकि हाफिज सईद के बेटे तलहा सईद ने इस पर नाराजगी जताई। उन्होंने कहा कि बिलावल का बयान पाकिस्तान की अंतर्राष्ट्रीय छवि को नुकसान पहुंचाता है। तलहा खुद भी एक ग्लोबल टेररिस्ट घोषित किया जा चुका है। बिलावल ने यह भी कहा कि हाफिज सईद पाकिस्तान की जेल में है और मसूद अजहर अफगानिस्तान में छुपा है। पाकिस्तान उसे पकड़ने में असमर्थ रहा है। भारत कई बार कह चुका है कि आतंकी पाकिस्तान में खुलेआम घूमते हैं और सेना के संरक्षण में अपने संगठन चलाते हैं। ये बयान भारत-पाक संबंधों में एक नई बहस छेड़ सकता है।
You can go on Google and search in February of 2025 in Pak-occupied Kashmir, the Lashkar-e-Taiba Hafiz Saeed's son's speech is there. I have heard that speech. He had said कि 2025 में पूरा जिहाद होगा और खून की नदियां बहेंगी. His statement is there in which he gave in February 2025. Now, what does that clearly tells us is that yes, they have done it, and lastly, what our foreign secretary had said in the briefing, that the intention was not only to disrupt the tourism in Kashmir, but to also create communal differences in India. So I'm saying this because when you interact with some Majnoon, so you can tell him, these are facts, and you cannot, run away from that.
Sanglikar's Weekly, the ink never dries. Sanglikars Weekly, it's all here for you.
Like, according to Daily Mail, UK, White Widow, Samantha Luthwaite, world's most dreaded jihadi terrorist linked to 400 killings, presumed to be dead, is alive and active in Somalia. Scary.
The so-called White Widow, she's a British citizen whose husband was a suicide bomber in the 2005 London train attack. Interpol issued an international arrest warrant for the woman. Our senior correspondent John Miller, the former FBI assistant director. John, good morning.
Good morning.
What do we know about the so-called White Widow?
Well, Samantha Luthwaite, as you reported, was the wife of one of the 7/7 bombers from London and said she knew nothing about that plot. And then a couple of years later, turned up in Al-Shabaab, the terrorist group in Somalia. Since then, she's been implicated as being possibly involved in two plots, one that blew up a couple of bars during soccer matches and another plot against a hotel in Mombasa. She seems to be moving around, investigators believe, on a forged passport belonging to a British nurse named Samantha Webb.
She's 29 years old. She's a mother with children. Why do they think she may be involved in this mall attack, or do they know?
They don't know. They have a description of a white woman that one witness said was among the attackers, and they know that she is working with Al-Shabaab, and they are now looking to see, is she among the dead? Did they mistake her as a victim, or did she have nothing to do with it? And that's why they have that red notice at the borders, to see if they can pick her up if she's alive and moving.
All right, John Miller, thank you.
Like, opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn has launched his own party in Britain. At 76, Corbyn stands a no chance.
Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana have just started a new political party. This new party will be co-led by both Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn, with them joining the 4 other independent MPs who were mainly elected as a pro-Gaza voice, creating a decent-sized base for a new political party. The idea is to build up a bottom-up movement, and whilst no official policies have been outlined, it's likely to include anti-austerity policies such as reversing the changes to winter fuel allowance, scrapping the 2-child benefit cap, and reversing the cuts to disabled benefits. And with both leaders being outspoken pro-Palestinian supporters, it will almost definitely involve stopping all UK involvement of Israel, with a heavy focus on anti-war policies. Zara Sultana has also encouraged others to join them, and with recent rebellions within the Labour Party, we could potentially see some Labour MPs defect to this new party.
And Rishi Sunak, ex-PM, has joined investment bank Goldman Sachs as senior advisor. Is it advice or liaisoning work? Like, chocolate maker Ferrero Rocher is buying cornflake maker Kellogg in a deal of $3.1 billion. Long live chocolates.
Chocolate maker Ferrero is buying cereal giant Kellogg for slightly more than $3 billion. The candy maker is known for its Baby Ruth bars and, of course, those Nutella products. Leaders at Kellogg say the deal brings greater resources and more flexibility to grow in the market.
Sacked Putin minister found dead as haunting pic of suicide gun emerges.
Russia's former transport minister has reportedly been found dead just hours after being fired by Vladimir Putin. Roman Starovit, who had held the post for less than a year, was dismissed earlier on Monday amid escalating turmoil in Russia's transport sector. Hours later, he was reportedly found dead in a car at his home in the Odintsovo neighborhood, marking another grim twist in the Kremlin's growing shadow of sudden deaths. Major channels with links to the Russian security forces reported the cause of death as suicide, claiming the minister was found dead with gunshot wounds. The firearm, according to Russian media, was an award pistol issued to him in 2023 by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Unconfirmed reports suggest that he was killed using his own weapon. Reports said that the last time Starovit communicated with his family was 2 days ago. According to sources, on July 5th, he arrived at a competition to see his daughter, stayed there for less than an hour, hugged her, and left. He did not contact his family again.
Italy airport horror. A man died after being sucked into the engine of an aircraft at Italy's Milan airport. Flight operations were suspended for about 2 hours after the incident.
A tragic tarmac incident forced officials to shut down the airport. Let's break down what happened. On Tuesday morning, Milan's Bergamo airport was the site of a serious incident. A man lost his life after being pulled into a plane's engine as the aircraft prepared for takeoff. According to reports, the individual was not an airport employee or a passenger. He had trespassed onto the runway, an area that is off limits for safety reasons. All airport operations were immediately suspended to keep everyone safe and allow for a full investigation. This led to significant travel disruptions, with multiple flights delayed, canceled, or diverted. Authorities are working to find out how the man accessed the restricted tarmac. Incidents like these are extremely rare, and airports have strict security to protect travelers.
Australian Aaron Patterson found guilty of all counts in mushroom murders case. An Australian woman was convicted of murdering 3 elderly relatives of her estranged husband with a meal laced with poisonous mushrooms, in a case that has gripped the country.
In July of this year, on a weekend, Gail Patterson had her family over for a meal, and after that meal, 3 of those people that were there became critically ill. So 4 of those people became critically ill, and 3 of those people died. So at Aaron Patterson's home for the meal in late July were Gail and Don Patterson, the parents of Aaron Patterson's ex-husband, as well as Ms. Patterson's sister Heather Wilkinson and her husband Ian Wilkinson. Gail and Don Patterson died a few days after this meal, where there was a suspected mushroom poisoning, and Heather Wilkinson died quickly after that meal. Her husband Ian Wilkinson was gravely ill and in a critical condition in hospital. There were real concerns that he would also die, but he was able to recover. And ever since that meal, police have been investigating what went on. And this morning, at 8 o'clock this morning, police executed a warrant on Aaron Patterson's home. They arrested her and have taken her in for questioning, and they are investigating her property this morning as we speak.
Turkey arrests journalists over alleged cartoon of Prophet Muhammad. Clashes and arrests in Turkey over magazine cartoon allegedly depicting Prophet Muhammad. Clashes erupted in Istanbul with police firing rubber bullets and tear gas to disperse a mob, after allegations that a satirical magazine had published a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. The clashes occurred after Istanbul's chief prosecutor ordered the arrest of the editors at Lehman magazine on grounds it had published a cartoon that publicly insulted religious values. The magazine's editor-in-chief, Tunçe Akgün, said the image had been misinterpreted. "This cartoon is not a caricature of Prophet Muhammad in any way," he told Agence France-Presse. "In this work, the name of a Muslim who was killed in the bombardments of Israel is fictionalized as Muhammad. More than 200 million people in the Islamic world are named Muhammad. It has nothing to do with Prophet Muhammad. We would never take such a risk."
Kisvesiyle yapılan açık bir kışkırtmadır. Alçakça bir provokasyondur. Nitekim bu nefret suçuyla ilgili emniyetimiz ve yargımız hemen harekete geçmiş, bahse konu dergi toplatılmış, gerekli süreçler başlatılmıştır. Resulullah Efendimiz'e ve diğer peygamberlerimize küstahlık edenler bunun hesabını hukuk önünde vereceklerdir. Biz bunun takipçisi olacağız.
UAE launches Golden Visa for Indians. How to apply. All you need to know. Golden Visa application.
The United Arab Emirates has just made it easier for Indian professionals to call Dubai home. It has announced a new Golden Visa option, this time tailored for professionals and not just the ultra-wealthy. Till now, getting a Golden Visa meant spending big, at least 2 million AED or 4.66 crore rupees on property or business investments. But not anymore. Under a new pilot program, Indians as well as Bangladeshis can now get the Golden Visa by simply paying a one-time fee of 100,000 AED or around 23 lakh rupees. No need to buy property, no need to run a business. This is part of a new nomination-based model that focuses on your skills, background and potential and not your bank balance. So who can apply? What matters now is essentially your profile. So the eligible category includes entrepreneurs and investors, top professionals in education, science and medicine, digital creators like YouTubers and podcasters, accredited esports players over 25, teachers and nurses with 15 plus years of experience, luxury yacht owners and maritime professionals. Now here is how the process works. Apply through authorized centers like One Vasco based in India and Bangladesh or via the Rayad Group's online portal or call center. Rayad Group, a Dubai-based consultancy, has been tasked with vetting the application. They run background checks on finances, criminal history, even one social media. If the profile fits what the UAE is looking for, just culture, science, trade or professional services, they forward the case to the UAE government. Final decision then rests with the authorities, and once approved, the applicant gets a lifetime golden visa. What are the perks? You can live and work in the UAE permanently. You can sponsor your family, including children, elderly parents, and even domestic help. You can open businesses or offer professional services. India and the UAE signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement in 2022. Since then, the countries have been deepening their strategic and economic ties. Over 5,000 Indians are expected to apply during the 3-month pilot phase. And if it goes well, the UAE plans to extend the offer to other CAPA countries including China. So if you have dreamt of living and working in Dubai but found the investment requirement out of reach, this could be a golden moment.
And finally, I have heard that a new group called Alcoholics Unanimous has been founded. If you don't feel like having a drink, you can call a member. He comes to persuade you. 12th July 2025.